Okay, so one of the challenges they gave us was, just to go on and show you guys kind of our websites and what we use and what we don't use and the thought processes and how maybe they've expanded. And I've had to laugh to myself as I came here to get ready to do it, because I look right here and I had this big plan that, classwork was where classwork was going to be. Every day this is where they started class, and I've held true to that. My kids know this is where they start class. They click on this, that's where stuff starts. But over here it was like, this is where I'll make announcements and I'll do all this other really cool stuff. But you can see the last time I posted anything was February 20th. So this didn't really fall into how I taught my classroom. Does that mean it's not going to fit next year? I think this one I can comfortably say I don't need this, and I'll probably just have classwork be my homepage, because it ends up being another click and another thing kids have to do each day when they could just start on the classwork page. So I probably will eliminate this. But then there's some other stuff over here that, as I look, I had big plans and I didn't use them, but I do wish I would have used them. So the announcements slide, that's this. It would take me straight to this. It's useless. I'm not going to use it next year, because my classwork tab really ends up being my announcements, because it tells everything I need kids to do. Now you're seeing a little bit different than what the kids see, because I have a bunch of posts where I've just decided to not use them, and I need to just clean them up and delete them, but I haven't yet. But this is what the kids would see. But over here, Kia testing, it's just a quick link to Kia testing, which works really well. So whenever it's time for tests, they don't have to go and put it on their, sometimes I think their menu bars right here, their menu bars can get full, because I want them to fill so many things up. But just by putting a simple link to from my website to testing, I think that just saves them one thing that I'm telling them to bookmark. Here's one that I did nothing with, but I'm like, man, I should have used that. Forms and docs. I set this up, and this is where I was going to share anything, and I ended up sharing at the bottom of classwork tabs, so you have the ability to share something. Let me find one that I shared with. This is a big assignment with lyrics, but so here you can see where I just attached a PowerPoint here, but I'd like to, so that it's easier for kids to find, like you just saw me have to scroll, I'd like to just put them in here and then hyperlink to that in my assignments, and that's something I should have done this year. And I didn't even remember I put this in my toolbar until I started looking at how I was going to do stuff. Same with the calendar. The calendar is something that I originally planned to do a bunch of stuff. You can see where I kind of started the idea, or there's nothing here, but I would like to post a calendar for kids to kind of see what's out, because I'm trying to teach them to be digital citizens and be organized in the way they do stuff, and how to really organize their plans and their thoughts. And I can help them and help myself by setting up a calendar and letting them know what's coming, and it's something I already do, just sharing it with them. So that's something I can see myself using next year. I will use next year. And then the contact page is your classic, how to contact me. The kids end up using a million different other ways through this website, through general discussions, through my discussion boards and all that kind of stuff, and you'll see that as well. So a typical class would start on the classwork tab. They click right on this assignment, and so I had a sub today because I'm at this meeting, so there's a video explanation. I'm linking to YouTube. They watch that. It tells them what to do, and then they click on this link, and it's a 12-song YouTube link. It has either the videos or songs with lyrics, and then there's their lyric song. There's the lyrics to each song. But then they're required to come over here and respond to those songs. So in general discussion, this is a threaded discussion board for everybody. I have one specific to each hour, but this one I wanted everyone to talk together. So, here's Edwin Starr's War, and I posted a question. I think this one is what just has a simple message that gets stuck in your head. What are some modern protest song lyrics that get stuck in your head? And so then they have been posting that. This was kind of a fun break, because some of them I was making them really think. So here's their responses. Now when they respond to these, I can set this up to where sometimes it emails me the response, or emails me every single response, which is what I had them doing today, because of course I'm kind of a control freak and I wanted to see how they were doing when I wasn't in class. But lots of times I'll just do like a weekly update, so that way if a kid does an assignment late, it will update me and say, oh hey, Bobby did this assignment, even though you were supposed to do it in class and he wanted to get it done, he did it, and it gives me that weekly update. So I can do that in general discussion. This is all my kids talking together today. Or I do hourly discussions where I post the same question each hour, but I can control it by the hour. It makes it easy for me to grade and see that kind of stuff. So you can see this is, I did some migration stuff with each hour, and these are specific ones. And then over here, this is something I added at the end of the year. As I was preparing my kids for the EOC, I was trying to kind of come up with a way that they could find everything they needed. So they have links to timelines that were student created. So I gave them. You can see where I got a little hasty, and I'll clean that up. But there's 3 different timelines that kind of go with the way their brains work. Some of them are on Prezi, some of them are on real-time board. I have practice tests that I'm linking to, and then after they honed in, which is through class activities, on what areas they weren't good at. Let's say they decide they're not really good at the Gilded Age. Then at the Gilded Age, this normally pulls up. There'd be a YouTube video there, and they know how to solve this problem. I have a review game that they can play. I think this one's Battleship or something from Kia. Let's see here. Oh, this is Rags to Riches, so this is like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. But then also here is all the key terms. And all this is stuff that I used during the year that I just gave to them electronically, so they have places to kind of refresh themselves. Some of them actually went on and made real-time boards, and I'll probably actually post another post about that, about how they prepared for the EOC and created their own kind of self-designed review sites. And that was kind of my ultimate goal. I think next year will be a working wiki, where they're just going to constantly be updating it with the stuff they know, because then that will allow them to kind of create with what they've been learning. But at the same time, at the end of the year, when it comes time for the EOC, they already have a website with all of that information linked in the way that their brain works, and they can kind of hone in on what they need to understand more. Another thing that we did was we team teach at the junior high, so we linked between teachers' classrooms. We all have a very similar setup. That's by design. We wanted to be able to have kids go from class to class and kind of see how it's set up and get comfortable with that. And then another one where I had this great idea that I'm going to have a poll every day and that kind of stuff, and I never once used it. I did poll, but I polled in different ways. I don't know that I might remove this in the future. But as far as setting up this website, it isn't hard. It's a very simple process. If I want to create a new page, I just click the new page button. Whatever this page I want it to be. So new page, practice. And so I click create, and now it's just going to be a wide open, almost like a Word document. And then I can insert all sorts of different things over here. And lots of times I've just kind of figured out how to do it. Videos from YouTube are pretty easy. Put in an image. Lots of times I'll just see and challenge myself to find something new in the More Gadgets page, just to try something different and how I'm going to present it to them. Maybe I have like flashing words or something, but just to kind of keep my brain trying new things. But I can type here. If I wanted to link this, I just highlight it and click hyperlink, and then paste the hyperlink to where I want it to go and what I want the hyperlink to say. Or I can link to within my website. So I can link what I just typed, and when they click on that, that takes them back to the timelines. So now that's a hyperlink that would take them to the timelines. So I set up my whole website. It's just like a Word document. I can center align it. I can change the color of the font. I can make the font bigger. It's not that difficult to set up. And then once I'm finished with the website, right now the only way to get to it is if I typed in the actual address. But then I just go to More and say that I want to manage my site or edit my site layout. And now I'm controlling these sidebars. And let's say I wanted to add it to this one. I just click on this sidebar, and I want to add a page. And I called this practice something. Practice, new page practice. So I click on that, say OK, and I could change the name if I wanted to, but OK. Now it's been added to here, new page practice, click close, and now it's public. And so I think sometimes when we say build a website, people think it's really complex and really hard. But the Google site is pretty dang easy, and if I don't know how to do it, I just go YouTube it or Google it. I actually YouTube it because I learn better just by watching someone else explain it to me. And people are explaining everything to me. Hopefully this works as a way to let you guys see a digital classroom, how I use my website on a daily basis, things I did well, things I didn't do well, and the last part I was just kind of hoping to show you that it's not a big, scary, hard thing. I would say it took me about a week. And then after that, I felt pretty comfortable with posting. And the unintended consequence that I didn't even realize that was going on is I now have, now this one's big and long, so it's hard to see, but I now have a digital archive online of every single day of class since I've had the computers. So I'm not a very organized person, but this has organized me just by default, by telling the kids what we're going to do today and having a place where they're always going to find the links to the content and find the instructions on what we're going to do. It's all right here. So it's going to make things really nice in terms of I look more organized than I am as a person. Hope this helped.